Hi everyone, this is Laura. I'm the CEO of VMV Hypoallergenics. We're here to save the world's skin with the safest, most proven effective care on the planet. And how we do that is basically allergen omission. We take the top most common contact allergens as published by leading experts around the world, and we remove them from our formulations. We have a grading system that works a bit like an SPF in that you can see right away at the front of each product how many of the total top contact allergens published are not in a formulation. Something like this, for example, it is the VH rating system, which stands for the Validated Hypoallergenic Rating System, and it shows you how many allergens are not in the formulation over the total number of allergens. If the product has an allergen, like this one is actually VH 108 or minus 108 over 109, you'll see an asterisk right next to the 108 that corresponds to the ingredients list that shows the asterisk and the underline. And in this case, the allergen that's there is tocopherol acetate or vitamin E, which is a fantastic antioxidant. If you are not allergic to vitamin E, you can totally use this product, but at least we disclose it right away and you can see exactly what you can use and not use based on your patch test results. If a product contains an allergen that is not one of your allergens, then you can use it. We also patch test everything, final formulations, but also raw materials, ingredients, even packaging. We screen for potential allergen leaching into the product. And we prove efficacy by clinical trials. We publish many of our studies. A lot of research goes into these products. Thanks to my mother, who's our founding dermatopathologist, we have over 75 clinical studies published in peer-reviewed journals around the world. She herself has hundreds, but thanks to her, we have that many. So safest, most proven effective is something we take very seriously. Today, I will be giving you the skinny on basically our all-time most popular regimen, which is the SuperSkin Care regimen. There's a lot. I'll get into that later. But in the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. So way back in 1979, the very first product of VMV was actually the SuperSkin Toner. It was a different formulation back in the day, which we have since updated because this is better and safer, and we learn as we grow. But basically, SuperSkin Care was the very first thing out of VMV. And we actually had a patent for that very first formulation. SuperSkin Care really is the most wonderful, basic, all skin-inclusive line. It's like a really good daily, covers all the bases kind of regimen. And it comes in variants for dry skin, oily skin, and combination skin. Really, it covers kind of all the bases for your skin type. Daily, simple, all skin-inclusive regimen, which is why it's such a great starter regimen for teens and tweens. My kids started at age 9 because we do have acne that runs in the family as well as other skin problems. So at about age 9, I got my kids into, yeah, you got to learn how to wash your face, put a toner, very light, nothing major, and then moisturizer and sunscreen. All of the cleansers and scrubs across all the different skin types contain virgin coconut oil and monolaurin. So those are sort of across the board. And then we have mandelic acid, which is an almond-derived active ingredient. And what's really special about mandelic acid is this. In clinical studies, it has proven to be really effective even against things like glycolic acid, kojic acid, etc., for several concerns. Photoaging, so it can help already prevent some of those signs from early on, and brightening, so some of the dark spots from radiation exposure, etc. But because its molecular size is bigger than some of these other actives, it is far, far less irritating. Most of these other actives that I was talking about are effective in part because they are irritating. That just sort of comes with it. And they tend to penetrate a little bit deeper than mandelic acid. Usually the rule of thumb is if something doesn't penetrate well into the skin, it's less effective. But with mandelic acid, it's proven, it's really interesting that the molecular size is bigger, it is less irritating, but the efficacy is really, really up there. A golden rule that you might want to know in hypoallergenicity, best practice is considered larger molecules, because the smaller the molecule, the more it can penetrate the skin, the more potential problems that you have. So mandelic acid is sort of a wonderful active ingredient, especially for starting out with a regimen or for young skins, right? 9 and up. It also contains monolaurin, so it's a great kind of 1-2 thing, because the mandelic acid gives you this wonderful active treatment. It is less irritating, but in case your skin needs more anti-inflammatory care after the active ingredient, the monolaurin takes care of that. In addition, monolaurin is a broad spectrum antimicrobial. So it can help with acne lesions, pimples as they start from, say, hormones in your teens and whatever, but also, say, malassezia folliculitis, which is not an acne, but can be a bumpy situation for a lot of, teens, tweens, people starting out, sweat acne, sweat folliculitis, really. So yeah, it's a great daily toner, this. And the moisturizer, of course, contains monolaurin, our clinically published organic virgin coconut oil, and it does contain vitamin E, which is really, truly a wonderful antioxidant. If you happen to be allergic to vitamin E, tocopherol acetate, we do have many, many other moisturizers to choose from. The Essence Hand and Body Soother, Mommy Coddling All Over Lotion, Just Know It Oil, or Oils Well, which is our pure virgin coconut oil. Many moisturizers to choose from, including more active ones. Like if you wanted to combine this regimen with Re-Everything cream or Illuminance cream, you could do that as well. And we have great guidelines online at vmvinskin.com on how to safely combine different actives in one regimen. This is our line for dry skin. It's called Moisture Rich, and you have the Moisture Rich, mild mannered cleansing scrub, the creamy cleansing milk, and the intensive moisture milk, which are exactly what they sound. They're really great for dry skin. Very, very milky and creamy and soothing and just lovely. Some of our best-selling products overall. And Superskin Toner is there, but obviously formulated for dry skins. Dry skins that tend to be more sensitive. The reason we even have a toner in this line is because we do tend to see acne or different types of acne like eruptions, bumps, acne itself on dry skin. And so we provide that as well. For our oily skin line, it is called Spring Fresh. So you have the spring cleaning, mattifying facial scrub. You have the oil-free nourisher as the moisturizer. And then you have Super Skin 3, which is a higher concentration of the actives in the toner. We also have a really cool product under this particular regimen called Fine Finish Porcelain Mattifier. It's a toner that what it does is, so if this is your pore, it causes the cells around the pore to expand, which constricts the size of the pore. So it helps the pore appear smaller, which is pretty cool. So if you have very oily skin or are worried about sort of the visibility of your pores, that's a great option. A quick note on visibility of pores. If they're visible and dark, you might also have hyperpigmentation to deal with, in which case you can combine this line with our Illuminance regimen or Illuminance toner or cream in addition to this. The regimen for combination skin, and you choose a cleansing cream or a scrub if you wanted more surface exfoliation. Or we know some people who do both, where they, let's say they're showering a lot, or their skin is feeling a little more sensitive than normal. They would do the cream cleanser and then they would do the scrub maybe once a week to get a more thorough surface exfoliation. And that would then be followed. So this is actually my personal stash that I've been manhandling with my kids because we share this toner sometimes. But yeah, it has monolaurin and mandelic acid. And then you would finish off with the moisturizer from the line. So this is the Hydro Balance Smart Moisturizer. That's basically it. Nice and simple. Every day you wake up, you wash your face, use the scrub or the cleanser, and then you do the toner. My kids and I don't even use cotton applicators anymore. We just pour a very small amount and apply it on our faces. And then the moisturizer, and then an Armada Sun and Light Screen, and we're kind of good to go. That's it. It's a very simple, non-intimidating, highly effective, covers all the bases line. So it's a great skin introductory regimen if you're sort of new to skincare and are feeling a little intimidated, or you want to get your kids started on skincare early, which is really good because preventive care is always the best. And especially like for us, we have like rosacea and seborrheic dermatitis and acne that runs in our family. So my kids have been starting to take care of their skin from a younger age to hopefully either prevent those problems completely or reduce the severity of those problems in the future. I expect a thank you card from my children when they're older. That's it. That is Super Skincare. I hope you found that helpful. Please let us know in the comments what you thought and if you have any questions. And I will see you next time. Have a skintastic day.